Okay, I think we are live. Let me just double check. Okay, can someone confirm if I am audible? We'll just wait for others to join. Yeah, hi. Hi, Johnny. Hello, everyone. Am I audible? Perfect. Okay, so a lot of people joining, and like last couple of weeks, we have been doing this live where I'm interacting with the subscribers. So let's try to do it even this week. And this week, I have also invited a guest, so who will be co-host, and we will be taking the questions together. So we have Piyush.
Hello everyone. Hello Abhishek. How are you?
I'm good, great, and thank you, Piyush bhai, for joining. I gave you a
No,
very
no,
short
thank,
notice.
no. Thank you for inviting me. I wouldn't have missed it. How are you?
Perfect. I'm super fine. We are doing this live from a couple of weeks. So the goal is that
Hmm.
we will invite subscribers onto the live along with us. They'll ask questions, and we will try to pick them.
Sure. Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is first I'll copy the join link, and let me paste it here in the comment section.
Hmm.
StreamYard, and I will also highlight the comment. So
Yep.
for people who are trying to find the comment, you can just look at the star comment. Initially, I'm also showing this comment here. Right now, you can see that. Piyush, can you
Hmm.
see that?
Yes.
Uh,
I can see that. Yeah. So yeah.
Perfect. Okay, we have 300 people live at this point, and let's take our first. Make sure that you turn on the camera because whoever is watching, even it would be better for them. They will also understand, who are asking the question. So, yeah, hello everyone. Hi, Ritesh. So let's see if we can take our first call. Okay, still a lot of people. Devices
Okay.
are connecting. So it
Okay.
says devices connected. Meanwhile, let's pick some question from the chat.
Yeah.
How important is learning Python or any kind of coding for DevOps? Okay, so the very first question is spot on. Uh, Learning Python or any kind of coding. First, I will take this, then I'll also let
Mhm.
Piyush Bhai to answer. So, it's important that you have knowledge of shell scripting at least, and
Mhm.
having a knowledge of Python will definitely help. As a DevOps engineer, one of the strong pillars or one of the main responsibilities that you do in an organization is automate the manual operations in any part of software development lifecycle. If there is a manual thing, it can be CI/CD, it can be build, deployment, any part of the SDLC. If there is manual thing, DevOps engineers should pitch in and automate. You can use shell for that, you can use Python for that. Not everything can be done with a particular scripting like shell, so it is recommended to have knowledge of Python. Piyush, what's your take?
Yes, I guess you have covered the important points. Yes, I totally agree with that. So you start with a bash scripting, and then you move with a hardcore scripting language such as Python, because not everything can be done with shell scripting. And when it comes to people think like cloud and DevOps, this is something for which we don't need a coding experience, and that is why they are most interested in transitioning into DevOps or cloud if they are not really very good at coding or so. But that is not true. That is actually that is a misconception. So we still do code, like every DevOps or cloud engineer still do coding, and that coding could be like in different languages. Like we write Terraform scripts, right? We
Yeah.
write Ansible playbooks or Chef cookbooks, and there are so many things that we do as part of the DevOps role or the cloud engineer role. Plus, Python we use as a scripting language to automate the manual task, the thing that you have mentioned, right? So it's not like we are building an application or we are creating some product from scratch using Python or any programming language. So we definitely use Python, but we use it to automate the manual task, to use that as part of CI/CD script or
Yeah.
any manual task for that matter of fact. So yes, Shell is mandatory and Python is, like, I wouldn't say you should know everything about Python, but you should know at least the things that helps you automate the manual tasks. So that's the important thing.
Perfect. And we also have Python for DevOps playlist where I've covered use cases, why DevOps engineer needs Python, what are the things you do as a DevOps engineer with Python. Okay, we have our first caller. Sorry, we have our first subscriber, Alim. So I think I'm
Hi
watching too
Abhishek,
much.
hi Piyush.
Hello, Alim. How are you?
Yeah,
I'm
Alim.
doing well. I hope you are
Ask your
doing well.
question. Yeah, please, Alim.
Abhishek, I have a question that I'm from non-IT background, and it's a little bit difficult to learn DevOps from non-IT background by learning shell scripting. And as you said that, as you mentioned in your previous recording, that go with first with DevOps and later go with AWS and
Mhm.
Python, as you mentioned track by track in your
Yes, yes, yes.
YouTube platform. Whenever we are trying to learn like shell scripting, there we are getting like doubts. Other like we are stucking there by with bugs. Like Python, we don't know the Python. How can we do there? So like that, I am getting a dots in there, and I'm getting a lot of, and many of them are saying that you know. It's very difficult for non-IT persons. Many of them IT persons are only not getting the jobs in the market. So if you go,
Hmm.
how can you get the job?
Hmm. Okay.
So many of them are
Okay.
also demotivating for this. Can you please help me with this?
Okay. See, first thing is that when you are trying to enter a stream, like there should be a proper roadmap. Obviously, if you start with Python or parallelly, if you learn DevOps, Python, AWS, you will be lost. That is for sure. Let's say if I have to learn something with machine learning today, okay, if I directly jump onto some advanced ML algorithms, I'll be lost. I'll not understand anything. So that's why
Yes,
the playlists are very structured. Start with DevOps Zero to Hero, right from understanding what is virtualization, what is like the basic Linux, how to interact with Linux using basic shell commands, right? This is how you start your approach. And after that, go to a cloud platform. A lot of people do this mistake. First, they go to cloud platform because it's very simple, right? You just click few buttons and you get an EC2 instance, or you click few buttons, you get an EKS cluster. So people go directly with the cloud and they start their journey. But you lack the fundamentals. You sit an interview, you fail. They'll ask you, they don't ask you how to create a EKS cluster on cloud. They'll ask you questions about Kubernetes, right? So that's why go with a proper roadmap. People will demotivate. There are a lot of success stories on the channel, on LinkedIn, internet. Many people transition from non-IT to IT. It is difficult, but if you want to do it, you can do it. Uh, Pishbhai, what is your take on this?
Yes, Abhishek, bhai, yes, you have mentioned it already. So yes, first step is to start with the Abhishek's DevOps Zero to Hero playlist. It is well structured. It has everything and in the right order that you should be following. So that's one step. The only thing that I wanted to add, because Abhishek already covered the rest, the only thing I wanted to add, don't get demotivated with what others are saying. You see,
Hmm.
yes, everyone is saying it's not easy, especially for someone who is from non-tech background, especially for someone who don't have any fundamentals knowledge of DevOps and cloud. It is definitely going to be hard, right? But
yes,
think of it as this way: if it is hard, that means not everyone can do it. If it will
Hmm.
be easy, everyone will become DevOps engineer, and how would that supply, demand and supply will be able to match, right? So that is why if it is hard, then that's a good thing, right? You can work hard on your skills, you can work hard on all the things that you are learning, and then you can do better than those who are not, who are thinking that it is hard. You can get ahead of the game by taking this advantage, rather than thinking this as a something as a demotivating factor, right?
Yes, you're right. And Abhishek, I have one more doubt. As you are giving, like for example, there are 5 to 6 teams are there in organization to develop a tool or application. You are giving all of the 6 teams knowledge in your platform. So how many tools mandatory to get interview or to get the preparation
you
for the
should
DevOps?
you should gain understanding of whatever is taught on the channel, because I haven't duplicated the concepts. If you are picking up one thing, I have covered, like I haven't taught Terraform and Pulumi, right? I haven't covered Ansible plus Puppet plus Chef. We have only done one thing that is required in those playlists. So you need to cover everything that is explained in the same order in the playlist, right?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Abhishek.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Piyush bhai, one question there.
Hmm.
Many people might have also told you that it's impossible to get into companies like Google without strong knowledge of DSA or without strong knowledge of programming. You should only get into companies like that as a developer.
Hmm.
Uh, how did you like find this opportunity, and is it possible for people to get into DevOps roles in companies like Google?
Actually, in company, sorry, what I was saying, in Google, we don't have any DevOps roles, so we have SRE roles in multiple teams, and SRE also, because it was, this role was formed by Google, and they have like various flavors of SRE within Google. Like some are specialist and working for a single product, some are working for multiple projects and more of a generalist in SRE, and so on. For SRE, yes, there's gonna be definitely a DSA round, right? And but it's not very deep dive DSA round. It's gonna be from beginner to intermediate level.
Got it.
But when it comes to cloud, like there are different roles within cloud. Like we have cloud support, we have technical account managers, we have solution architect. These roles, even in Google, don't have DSA as one of their interview rounds. Like when I
Okay.
got into Google, I did not give the DSA round. But the important thing to remember over here is these rounds are like these roles that I've just described, these are mostly for experienced professionals. So
Hmm.
if you are a fresher, so chances are one way or another you will still have to give the DSA round, and you will still be and even for, like, let's say if I'm from cloud support background, even then I had to give one code debugging round. It was like I didn't have to write the code from scratch, but a code snippet was given to me, and it was like a very advanced level code snippet, and I had to debug the code and troubleshoot it. So yeah, that's all about it.
Great. We have Shravani next. So hi Shravani.
Hello, Shavni.
Hi Abhishek. Again, I'm meeting second time live. Okay. As we communicated, I'll be part of Monday motivation in few
Yes.
days because there are some ongoing offer
Oh
discussions.
wow, wow,
I have
very
three companies that are in ongoing discussions with the offer.
nice.
Discussion had done, but offer has not yet released.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Firstly, yeah, Piyush, I met Shravani in Pune meetup. I
Okay.
still remember.
Okay.
So then I think you were on break that time, right, Shravani, or you were working
Maternity. No, I was
maternity?
on maternity.
Maternity. Yeah, great. Even last week when I did the live stream, she joined and she was asking question that it was difficult to crack. I'm failing to crack interviews in level 2, if I'm right. You said,
Mhm.
and now
Yes.
you are about to get an offer. Congrats, Ravani.
Thank you. I just feel good to talk with you. I don't know. It's like fans can only have a emotion, not logic. The Allu Arjun
No,
dialogue.
no, no,
I just
no.
feel nice to talk to you.
Thank you. It means a lot. Means a lot. I don't think I deserve that huge word, but thank you so much. How was your journey?
And
Tell us about that.
okay, there are three companies. First one I given the L1. Then
Okay.
L2 was the managerial round, and L3 was the coding. They have given me one task they have given me the plain laptop without any tools installed. So they
Okay.
asked me to install all the tools from
Hmm.
Jenkins, GitHub, Docker, Kubernetes, and integrate all these. And they have given one task with the sheet
Nice.
that pull the code from GitHub and then build it from the Docker and deploy into the Kubernetes with Jenkins.
End to
Then
end.
after end to end. Then after I deployed the application, exposed them to the node port so that I could fetch from the laptop. And all these are done in L3. So another was just L1 and L2, then managerial round, like these only. But two of them are was hands on hands.
Very nice.
And the first one I mentioned, it was in the office with the guy sitting next to me
Oh, okay. In person. Okay.
in person, and that went well.
Shravani, when you went for maternity and when you came back, did you also have a career gap?
No, no, no.
No career gap. Okay. Directly from
No.
maternity, you got into this company,
Mhm.
right? Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
No,
So,
after maternity, I joined back my same organization to settle down the situations with the baby and myself.
okay.
After my baby completed 1 year, so I focused to look into more for this job. I just want to clear one thing, one process that if my DNS is registered in Route 53,
Mm-hmm.
okay, how could I enable the certifications? Whether I need to use Cloud Armor or it is a Amdocs not sorry AWS managed certifications, and how end user certification and the Route 53 hosted zone certifications will be authorized. I want to understand this process.
Okay. Can you repeat that question? So you have
I
Route 53.
have DNS registered in Route 53. I
Okay.
want to enable the certification authentication between because in Route 53 I have registered my DNS. It can directly communicate to my service that are present into the EKS cluster. I want to add the authentication of certification between the end user and the service that is present. So I want to understand how we could enable the authorization.
For that you don't have to complicate, right? You don't have to even touch that Route 53 service. Okay. You have your application deployed on Kubernetes. Okay. So you can simply create a ingress based TLS. Okay. Like, I don't want to complicate the discussion here, but in a nutshell, if I have to explain, in ingress you can create a TLS based ingress, right? And you can
Yeah.
use load balancing, like the TLS encryption mechanism, like SSL offloading, for example. So when you do SSL offloading, the load balancer that you have created, it will take care of the TLS authentication. Okay. And
Mhm.
the request from the load balancer will go to the service. If you want unencrypted one, you can use SSL offloading. If you want, again, encryption between your load balancer and service, you can use re-encrypt. Okay.
Okay. How Cloud Armor will be plays a role in this?
I haven't used Cloud Armor, so I'm not exactly sure how it will fit into this path. But this is how I would do in terms of EKS.
Okay, okay. No problem. Yeah, that's it.
Thanks, thanks, Ravani. It was nice talking to you, and it is nice to know that you are getting placed. And soon you will be part of our Monday motivation for sure.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yes.
Thank you. Thanks,
Thank
Shravani.
you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. Okay, Parag, uh, what's up?
Hi, Abhishek and Piyush sir.
Hello, hello, Parag.
Uh,
How are you?
First of all, thanks for the community that you have made. Uh, so I'm calling from my part time. I'm in
Yeah,
Ireland.
we
That's
understood.
okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
your question is going
so,
right to Piyush. Your question is going right to
no,
Piyush.
I have followed, I follow community, so I don't want to repeat what you have answered already. So,
Okay,
recently I've covered all, if a
I think you are breaking, Parag.
completed all the videos. I have done his. Uh, Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, it's better now. Yeah, please go ahead.
If
No,
a
just
subscriber has completed all the coursework
Hmm.
you are stuck again.
and
Okay, yeah. So I heard like if someone has completed all the videos. So which series are we talking about?
imagine I've completed Abhishek's all zero to hero course.
Okay.
Hmm.
Or
Maybe you can do one thing, Parag, because your internet is not really good. You
Yeah,
can switch off your camera and just be on audio.
let's try that once. Or Parag, you can try again. I will
Yeah.
get back to you for sure.
Mm.
Right. We have another Parag.
Okay. Hello, another Parag. How are you? No, you're on mute, I guess.
You're on mute.
Yeah.
Yeah, am I audible
Yes, you're
now?
audible. Yes, you're audible now.
Yeah. Hello, Abhishek, and hello, Piyush sir.
Why
So I'm
everyone is calling
Ireland,
Abhishek
and
as
apparently
Abhishek and Piyush as sir? No, please call me
so
Piyush.
lots
Because
of coincidence
no,
today.
Piyush is in Google, so Piyush
No.
sir.
You just call me Piyush. Don't call me sir.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, my question is, I was preparing for civil services after my graduation, and I was preparing for it for 5 straight years, and there's a career gap. I have never worked in IT. Then
Mm,
I came to Ireland. I completed my master's in business analytics, and while doing masters, I completed one Azure Fundamentals and AWS Solutions Architect Associate as well.
mm,
And after that, I'm following your Zero to Hero playlist, and I think I'm also connected with you on Slack. I'm asking regular questions there. Sorry to disturb you a lot there.
Yeah, yeah.
But now I'm like kind of afraid because of the market situation and
Hmm.
also the career gap that I have. So I'm taking time for myself to firstly understand the field and prepare myself better to get the job. But still, there are many apprehensions in my mind, like will I be able to enter the industry, particularly while being in Europe, and what exactly I should be doing in let's say coming 2 or 3 months to be able to crack a job or something like that.
Piyush bhai, would you like to take this
I
question?
just I just want to share a small example because you have mentioned like you were doing the civil services preparation for straight
Yeah,
5 years, so you have that gap and then you came to Europe.
yeah.
So I know someone like I met him on Twitter. His name is Akshay, and he like the way you did your civil services preparation for 5 years. He did that for 8 years.
Oh,
After his
okay.
college, he did that for 8 years,
Hmm.
and after that he entered into DevOps. He joined as a DevOps
Wow,
intern after that, and finally now he joined as a full-time DevOps employee in
that's
and
great.
now he's working with the one of the government organization in India. I'm forgetting the name, I guess. NIC. You might have heard of
National
it.
Information
Correct.
Commission, something like
So
that.
now
Yeah.
he's working as a full-time employee over there.
Wow.
So imagine if he can do that after an 8 years of gap, you can do that with 5 years. You
Hmm.
you have already shown a lot of patience when you were preparing for it, right? So you
Yeah.
already did that preparation for straight 5 years. So you are already a fighter. You know
Hmm.
how to overcome the failures. You know how to learn from it and move on and prepare for the next. So you just
Hmm.
have to apply the same principles over here. Market is
Hmm.
bad only for those who are just worried about it, right?
Yeah.
So first of all, take this worry out of your mind. and
Mhm.
just calm yourself first and just focus on the hard work. That's the only thing
Yeah.
that you can do. No one can control the market. You cannot
Mhm.
do that. No one else can do that. So the only thing that you can control is your preparation, your upskilling, your hard work and
Mhm.
dedication. So if you focus
Okay.
on those things, you
Mhm.
don't have to worry about any market conditions. Because if
Okay.
market is bad, it is bad for everyone.
That's true.
and
Yeah.
and there'll be 80% of the people who will think that market is bad, so I'm not gonna get into DevOps now. I'll
Mhm.
maybe do something else. So
Mhm.
you are ahead of those 80% if you do not think that way.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right?
Thank you for the kind
Yeah.
words. Yeah, that's
So
very
so
helpful.
now I'll hand it over to Abhishek for
Yeah.
sharing the rest of the details.
Yeah. Thank
No,
you.
no, no.
Thank you.
See, one thing I'll tell you. Like, we are in no position to control the market. Think about it. Like, it's almost useless to think about it, because
Mhm.
if only the DevOps market is not good, I would have still thought about it. But this
Yeah.
is a global impact thing, right? If you are outside of India, the impact is equally on everything, whether you are in the development role, DevOps role. So rather than thinking about it, feeling ourselves low about it, what is the only thing that we can do? Upskill. Think about,
Mhm.
how can I improve my resume, how can I improve my chances. There
Mhm.
are still a lot of people who are trying to find that gaps and get into the roles. Literally, there are people, because I post during Monday, you might have seen people in the US, they are also getting into the roles. So it's hard, I can understand, but don't get demotivated. Utilize the time as much as possible, and just you will do it, Parag.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Abhishek and Piyush. Thank you.
Yep, no
Thank
worries.
you.
Uh,
Thank you.
am
Yeah.
I
Yes,
in
yes.
as well?
You're audible now. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yeah.
So I asked it in the chat because I thought internet is low. So uh, I have followed the community and all. I keep following. So recently I'm practicing DevOps interviews and I see live interviews as well, real time interviews. So my where I'm lacking is I think after doing all the courses and projects, I think like in questions where they ask how do you change, how do you manage the releases, how do you manage the branches and releases. Theoretically, I might know, but I haven't worked in that environment, I feel I lack in those questions. Uh, like I'm not confident in those questions. What way can we improve that when we have covered, the fundamentals as well as we have good hands-on on Kubernetes? Like example, we have followed Abhishek sir and Piyush sir. All the coursework is done. Our work starts after that for the real interviews. So how can we improve that?
Piyush bhai, I'll take this first, and then
Yes,
you can
yes.
add if I miss anything.
Yeah, definitely.
Uh, See, one thing that I'll tell you, because a lot of people ask about this release process, Parag. At this point of time, there are a lot of open source projects. At least 5 years back, 6 years back, it was difficult. But if you look at Kubernetes, they do the most complicated release, and everything is open, right? Nothing is hidden. If you just go to github.com/kubernetes/kubernetes, you can see every 3 months they're going to do a release. They have proper branching strategy, the feature branch, release branches, main branch, and they have the GitHub actions, which is doing the release. Even if you explain the same thing, it is enough, because it's a production thing, right? Kubernetes is also going to a production. uh, like that, there are hundreds of open source projects. So anything people ask real time, if someone is asking you, how does your real time CI/CD pipeline look like? Okay,
Mhm.
one is you are learning from the YouTube sources. After that, go to projects which are on GitHub, because that's the
Okay.
only option for you available open, right? So
Mhm.
go to Kubernetes, see how they have written GitHub actions, because that is also a
Okay.
CI/CD that they have written. Okay, go to Argo CD, see how they have written CI/CD. Go to Flux,
Mhm.
anything, and on top of that, try to correlate the concepts that you are learning, see how they have implemented. Then you will come to know that, okay, this is how production scenarios are. If someone is asking me in the interview, this is how I can explain. Best example for your question, if you want to know about the branching strategy in real time, if you want to know about the release process in real time, just go to github.com/kubernetes/kubernetes, follow their release, you will learn everything. Piyush bhai, would
Okay.
you like to add
Yeah,
anything?
that's very well Abhishek by oh sorry that's very well explained by Abhishek. So yes, that's the best way you can do that. Plus you are following a project that is mature enough, even though open source, but that has been there for a decade, that is mature enough, and it has been backed by some amazing community like CNCF, Google, Red Hat, and so on. Right, so that's the best way. The other thing, on top of that, what I would suggest is go and read some engineering blogs. Like every big company like Google, Meta, Netflix, they have their engineering blogs, they have their white papers, they have some amazing stuff out there that is available for free. So check it out,
Mm-hmm.
read through it. Maybe you don't understand 100% of it, but even if you understand 30-40% of it, and if you are able to explain 20% of it in the interview, that's more than enough. White papers
Okay.
are one of the most underrated resource that is available out there, and people
Yes.
don't
Mm-hmm.
utilize it. You know, like Abhishek mentioned, 5 years, 6 years back, there were not many resources available. Like there were
Mm-hmm.
no content on YouTube about Kubernetes, DevOps, and so on. So when I was preparing for my first cloud role 5-6 years back, so I followed AWS white papers. If you Google AWS white papers, you will see some amazing white papers around security, around three-tier architecture, and then there is well architected framework. So go and read
Mm-hmm.
those. You will get a lot of important information from those. Yep.
Okay. And one
Honestly,
last, mm, yeah,
like I wanted to tell you honestly, when we are doing releases of Argo CD, everything is
yeah.
public. Like there is nothing
Mm-hmm.
hidden. Like the release process that we are doing is as is on GitHub Actions on the GitHub repo. Along with that, one more thing that I want to add is give more and more interviews. Okay, initially you will
Yeah.
fail. Okay, when you fail, people will understand that you don't have knowledge on the release process, but you will learn something. Next time you will improve. Next time you will improve.
That's an amazing advice. Yes, I would also suggest doing that. So you see, you don't have to be afraid of failures or getting rejections in the
Yeah.
interview. You don't have to clear 100 interviews. You have to give 100 interviews, and
Yes.
what you need is to clear one interview. So don't worry about those 99 or 90 rejections. Just worry about getting the acceptance from one interview, and
Yes.
that will
Yes.
happen when you give a lot of interviews. So learn from it.
Yeah.
Whenever an interview is done, after that, just think about it, what were the questions that were asked, and what areas you can do improvement on, and then prepare for the next time.
Also, to end with, just for the community, uh, keep your mind positive. Don't think that, like, I'm getting many rejections, but in Mahabharata also, Krishna says, your your work is to do what you can think. What you can do is just apply for now, and don't think about winning or losing. So you won't have any regrets. So I'm following that. And also, a month ago, I thought like all of you guys are giving a lot to the community for free. Is there a way I can do something for you? Example, what I thought, there are many repetitive questions sometimes on the in the comments or in the live chats. Can we do a website for
Yeah, sure.
kind of like for every and for every video, under every video, like imagine it's a Kubernetes course. We can have you you can, like, I was thinking of some doing something for the community. Like for Abhishek, there might be one website. For Piyush, maybe another. And
Parag,
comments will be
actually,
related to doubts on those videos.
Parag, actually, you're breaking. Drop that message on LinkedIn or email me. We can
Okay.
definitely take that
Yep.
forward. Okay. I
Thank you
think
so
we
much,
lost
Parag.
it. Yeah. Okay, we have I think Sai, right? Sai.
Hi.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Hi, Abhishek
Okay.
and Piyush.
One
Hello, Sai.
one thing, Sai. Sai, before
Yes, yes.
we get to your question, so there are 300 people live at this point of time, and everyone is asking how to join. So you can see on the screen, and also if you go to the start comments, you can see the link to join. So there are only 10 people who can join the stream at once. Otherwise, you will be on the waiting list. Okay, Sai.
Yeah. First of all, thank you so much for your valuable content. And it is very much helpful for many of the students. Actually, I'm working in one of the MNC, and I
Hmm.
got the offer from like I have around 2 years of experience. I got the offer from one of the startup. My question was, is it good to go as a like working in MNC after going to the startup? And one more thing, actually, I'm from Andhra and I'm staying in Bangalore. And the location and what offer I got now was in Mumbai, actually. Can you, yeah, I mean, can you, I need some suggestion from your end. So actually, today was the offer. I just released it, and fortunately, I got into the live also to ask a question.
Perfect. Firstly, congratulations, Sai.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
thank you. Thank
location thing, I cannot give you the advice. That's too
you. Okay.
personal, right? It's a personal choice.
Okay.
But
Okay.
we will take your first question.
Yes.
MNC to startup.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Piyush bhai, what is your opinion? Can someone go from MNC to startup?
I mean, I don't see any issues with that if they are offering good money, if the role is good, if you are, you know, just because it is a startup, I don't see a reason why you shouldn't join. Like if there
Yes.
are
Yes.
any other red flags about that startup, or if that's not doing well, or if you have not heard good things about the startup related to the work culture and all, then that's a different thing. But if it's just, if you are just getting worried about getting from MNC to startup, so I don't think there is a reason to worry about that.
Okay. And all things are good from the startup end, but only one thing was they are saying like come to the office directly. We are not going to release the offer letter now. Like that they are saying. Can we trust them in that case?
No,
I
no,
connected with many of the employees in the LinkedIn, but
no,
they are
no, no.
saying likewise only
Okay,
they are doing.
okay. Don't do such things. Okay. Uh,
No.
any company who is just going to the standard procedure, okay,
Yes.
standard procedure is they give you an offer letter, and
Yes.
once you receive the offer letter, verify everything in the offer letter,
Hmm.
do the background check from your side also, okay.
Yes.
Like, don't resign to your current company, go to their company,
Okay.
wait for their offer letter, okay.
Okay.
Correct. So I was
Yeah.
mentioning, like, if the company doesn't have any red flag, so this is the red
Yes.
flag.
Got
This is
it.
the red flag
Okay.
Yeah.
actually.
But remaining things all are good. Like I connected with many of the employees, I mean co-workers who are working there. But the offer and the work they are offering, like project wise, everything is good. The only drawback was this only. Okay, I will verify this about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, do
please.
some
And
more background checks
yes,
about the company, and ask them a
yes,
specific reason why they are not releasing the offer. Like
Hmm.
I don't see a
got it.
reason why a company is hiring someone and wouldn't be releasing the offer. I don't see any
Yes,
reason for
yes.
that.
Yes. Actually, Abhishek, I'm working in one of the support project, and with the help of through your videos, like especially that CI/CD pipeline creation, especially that half an hour video before I enter into the video, I watched that, and with that only, I think that is the only major plus point which I got selected into this offer. And not only this, if I'm not going to select this offer in future also, I will definitely suggest many of the like whoever trying to get into the DevOps field for my
Thank
colleagues
you.
or who are especially working in the support projects for them. And thank you so much for your valuable like this type of sessions and conducting feedbacks.
Thank you, Sai. Thank you so
Thank,
much.
thank you, Sai.
uh, Next we have is Naga. Okay, please everyone just try to ask one question. Okay, if you have a lengthy question, it's okay. Frame the entire question, but let's give opportunity to as many people as possible. Yeah, Naga.
Yeah. Hi, Abhishek and Piyus. It's nice to meet you.
Hello,
And
Naga.
thanks so much, Abhishek. The grateful content that always upload in your channel. And I don't want to waste everyone's time here. So I have two questions. I just want to ask them and to get clarified with you. So the first question it is for you, Abhishek. So I know you uploaded so many videos for DevOps and Kubernetes,
Mm.
and we do follow regularly, and they're useful. Okay. For our day-to-day regular jobs. Apart from those, develop DevOps tools and Kubernetes, what other tools do we need to learn to be ready for the future?
Mm. Okay.
So that is
Uh,
one question. question.
Okay, if you are already working as a DevOps engineer,
Yeah.
okay,
Yes.
and
Yes.
let's say you are passionate about upskilling, okay, you want to see yourself in a much better role in the future. One thing what I would see is what are the current challenges. Okay, I'll start from there. Okay, uh, in the current place, the challenges, let's say, every company is trying to build their own models. Okay, probably one of the major challenge in that space is how do you build a model and release the model to different systems, right? Building the
Yeah.
model itself will take a lot of time, and now releasing it to, that's where wasm came into picture. Okay,
Mhm.
people talk about wasm as reducing the size, but that's a very small part. I don't think at this, in 2024, nobody is bothered about disk space, right? So people are bothered about time, release efficiency, build efficiency. So
Mhm.
that's where wasm came into picture. Try to explore that. Or if you are interested in ml ops, try to explore, how you can transition from devops to ml ops. Or if you are interested in any other thing, look at what are the current challenges. Okay,
Okay.
in the industry, what are the current challenges, not in your company, in the industry overall. And
Yeah.
if you can be part of the solution, if you can, tomorrow if you are giving interviews 5 years later, 3 years later, if you have a solution to that problem, or at least if you are thinking in a way to solve those problems, I think you will have better place in the interviews.
Okay. Thank you. And Pius, I think you have also few suggestions.
No,
You
I
have come.
guess Abhishek covered everything. So yes, that's where I would also start from. Like, think about the challenges and think about um what additionally you can do to enhance your current skill set. Like, currently, let's say you are focusing on DevOps. Like,
Mhm.
with the introduction of AI ML, there is a need of ML ops, AI ops, and so on, right? So see how you can utilize your current skill set with the modern tools and technologies. So how you can build ML ops pipeline. So ML ops is like, sometimes the people uh, create a buzz out of it. ML ops is nothing but CI/CD on ML workloads, right?
Yeah.
So similar to DevOps, there is nothing special about it. It just, you have to know a little bit about the different stages that we have in
Exactly.
machine learning models, deployment, fine tuning, evaluation, and so on. So you
ML
just
work.
have to understand the fundamentals about it, and rest, all the DevOps principle, all the CI/CD principle will come handy after that. So
Okay.
try to think around that way, because if you see the latest trend, every single startup is either AI based, ML based, or like they are moving towards that direction.
Yes.
And when they are doing this, because at the initial level, when they are a startup, they don't focus much on automating all these machine learning model deployment and developments and everything. But as soon as they get mature a little bit, as soon as they are stable, as soon as they get a lot of funding and everything, they focus on implementing these principles, agile, ML ops, and all of these things. So yeah, I would say try with those things as well.
Understood. Understood. Thank you
All
so
right.
much. And
Thank you.
Abhishek, one final question I have. I know you promised, okay, that Golang playlist. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, may I know, okay, when that can be
I
released
will
for
I
me?
will try I will try as soon as possible,
Yeah.
Naga.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Thank you, PS. Bye bye.
Thank you, Nagavai.
Next we have is again Sai.
Yeah, hi
Sai,
Abhishek.
yeah, please ask your question.
Yeah, I don't have any quick question that I need to
Okay.
ask you guys. So I just want to thank you whatever you are doing. I'm from here, so I was just browsing the YouTube. So I got some free time. So I was just looking that you are going live. So I thought of talking to you.
Nice.
Really quick. Say thank you whatever contribution that you guys are doing for the DevOps community. So I've been in cloud from almost 7 years, so I
Oh,
still
nice.
I watch your videos, because I've been in cloud from almost 7 years, but I didn't get a chance to work on very complex environments.
Yeah.
So where just to want to upskill myself, I watch your videos. Okay, so try to learn how the things going to happen, the Kubernetes stuff. So I didn't get chance to work on Kubernetes still. So just watch your videos. That's why I gain more. experience in Kubernetes stuff, and also I just want to thank you on all those stuff. I do have quick question regarding GitLab. Maybe so right now I'm planning to do some GitLab certification. So do you guys recommend any? I don't see any good source for the good
GitLab has
material for GitLab
certification.
certification. So I didn't find anywhere
Yeah,
because in my company,
They might
my
have. They might have
yeah.
certificate. Yeah.
Yeah, we
But
have certification, so I'm looking for a source, good source to learn
oh,
for GitLab. So I don't see anywhere. Do you guys have any source that you guys could recommend where can find the right source for doing the for the certifications?
I mean, if there is no resource, that is clearly evident that not a lot of people are doing it, and I don't think it's mature enough to be, uh, you know,
Hmm.
I would not recommend it. But Abhishek, what's your thought on that?
no, I would also like, if your company is asking you to definitely do it, you don't have an option.
Because
Yeah,
we are service based company, so we are trying to pull the
Yeah, yeah.
clients for the
Understood.
GitLab as well. So that's why we would like to, some of us want to do some vetting process and GitLab stuff. So they selected a couple of folks in our team, and they're asking us to do some GitLab certification so that we can show to the
yeah,
clients that we have so and so certification so that we can
Yeah.
get the projects, right? So
yeah.
that's how. So I was just looking in the Udemy, and I tried plural site and different, none of them having any source, to do at least a
Yeah.
certification.
Yeah, I mean,
The
maybe
proper
I don't
source
think
for me.
then you
I
have an
just look
option if
right
you're.
now. I am doing only the documentation. I'm just going through
That's
the
Yeah,
it.
GitLab.
yeah. I guess
Yeah,
that's the
that's
only
what I'm
thing that you
doing.
can do. Yeah.
So that's the only thing. So that's why I thought maybe you guys might have much experience. Not maybe you guys have gone through those.
I'm hearing this for the first time that GitLab even has certification. So
We have like GitLab has four, I think.
I know
Yeah.
GitHub recently launched few
GitLab, yeah.
certification. GitHub I am aware of, but GitLab I never
Yeah, they
heard of
have a
it.
couple of certifications. Yeah, GitLab, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay.
So
Yes.
even Jenkins had a certification.
Yes, yeah,
but
true, true. That's
but
true.
Cloudbees.
it's
Yeah.
been
Cloudbees.
there for a long time, but it has no significant value. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
I did that 4 years, 3 4 years back, but I did that because I got some certification voucher from somewhere, so that's why I did. But
Mhm.
other than that, I never thought of doing it.
Yeah, they're charging almost $600 for the
six
four
hundred dollars
certificate.
for a GitLab. It's even
Yeah.
costlier than
Yeah, GitLab.
Kubernetes.
Yeah, exactly. Kubernetes is just like 150 or something, I think so. Yeah.
I
So
will also I will also start some certification. I
Yeah.
I
didn't.
think I think Abhishek, you haven't done any GitLab any videos, right? I see your playlist. I don't see
Yeah,
any
yeah. I don't think
full-fledged
I.
videos on GitLab. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, GitLab
I
we
did
usually use
I
for
did
DevSecOps purpose, right? Yeah, Abhishek, what do you thought on using GitLab? I think more because GitLab has
It's just
more
like it's just like
security
GitHub.
concern. Most, yeah, but GitLab CI has more security to inbuilt tools. A lot of security concern
It
they
is
do.
similar to
Yeah,
GitHub Actions. Yeah, it is
yeah,
similar to
GitHub
that.
Actions. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
do
I
get it.
did created one video on GitLab around 2 years back. It's a 1 hour
Uh-huh.
long video, and it has like all the concepts of GitLab, but
Yeah, check
because
it
at
out.
that time I was just started the recording, the quality is not that good. So
Uh-huh.
people complained about, even though it is one of my highest viewed videos, but the quality was not really good
Maybe
because
because of there nobody find a lot of source for GitLab, so you made right
yeah,
time. So a
yeah,
lot
I
of
guess.
people got that good time. Yeah.
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 Okay,
All right.
thank
Yeah.
you.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, Abhishek. Yeah. Nice
Yeah,
talking to you guys. Yeah.
nice,
Okay,
nice
take care.
talking to you.
Bye bye.
So, please, there is one interesting question in comments that
Mm-hmm.
you know, how do you learn continuously? Like it's a generic question.
Mm-hmm.
Like they are trying to ask like, you know, how do you continuously upskill, or how can someone be motivated in continuous learning? So let me ask this question to you. You are working in Google, so you have your day-to-day activities, right? You are a cloud support engineer, so you are supporting your customers already, and along with that, you are also doing YouTube. So you are doing on concepts that you know. How do you upskill yourself? Like
Mm-hmm.
anything new that's in the domain or that's in the market, you'd
Sometimes,
like to learn.
what I do, sometimes I take that learning as a challenge. Like,
Mhm.
for example, like 3 years back, I was working on a freelancing contract with the client, uh, right? So client had a requirement to implement CI/CD, right?
Hmm.
And at that time I only knew Jenkins. Okay, so I thought I gave them an option. of Jenkins, then I thought what else we can do. So I suggested them to use GitLab CI/CD instead. Even though I had no experience in GitLab, I never really worked on it. But I thought it will be an opportunity for me to learn and implement at the same time. Right. So I took that as an opportunity. I learned first. I implemented. I did some hands-on, and then I implemented the entire thing for the client. And once I was comfortable, I created the video out of it to share with the community. Right. So
Awesome.
whenever I have to learn a new thing, I maybe create a video on that, or like a series on that. Or and the way I see learning, I see it as a habit. You know,
Hmm.
learning is a habit. It's not like, even though like for past 2.5 years I've been with Google, I have no plans of making a change or switching to another company. Even though I keep myself up to date, I make myself learn new things from time to time, because
Hmm.
it's now a habit for me. If I don't learn anything new, I feel bad about it, like what I'm doing. I'll be irrelevant in no time. I'll be irrelevant in the next few years, and then I have to ask people guidance, like what do I do. So
Hmm.
instead of doing that, it's better that I keep myself up to date, keep myself prepared for the market, because no job is secure in today's market. Doesn't matter wherever you are working, or if you are self employed, if you are working for a startup or a big tech company, it doesn't matter. No job is secure. So we have to keep ourselves up to date to the market, so that we stay relevant to the market. So
Very
that's
nice.
the only thought that is there in my mind, and I try to do that.
Very nice. Yeah, it's a habit basically. What you said is correct. Yeah, we will continue this discussion because I think a lot of people will be interested in understanding this. But before that, let's go to Sanjay. Mute. You're on mute, Sanjay. No, you're still on mute. Sorry, we can't hear you. Can you try one more time? Okay, we will come back to you. Let Mohsin ask the question. Mohsin,
Hello, hi, Abhi. It's great to be with you now.
Hello.
I was
we will
yeah,
come back to
from
you. We will come back to Sanjay. Yeah, Mohsin.
last week I started looking at your videos, and actually I'm from a networking background.
Hmm.
So my friend suggested me for a switch in DevOps. So I started looking at your videos, and the way you are, you know, giving the explanation, teaching, it's amazing. So I
Thank you.
just want to ask you guys, like a networking guy, after
Hmm.
5 years working in networking, can he
Hmm.
switch it in the DevOps side? Is
Okay,
there?
I will answer very quickly for you, Mohsin. Uh, Definitely, if you are in the networking background, it's very easy to compare to others. It's very easy to get into DevOps or cloud roles because you have already understanding of the OSI model. You have understanding of how virtual machines work, how a virtual private cloud is set up, right? You have an understanding of subnets, uh, like it covers like some 10 percentage of what a DevOps engineer does. So you are already starting from step 2, step 3 compared to others, right? So definitely it's an added advantage. So sorry, no doubt it's quite possible.
Okay. One more thing, like what we should add, like how we should explain to the recruiter when I apply for the job. So right now I am into the training in DevOps. So like how to make him
So
agree that I can work.
yeah, see, basically, it's quite common, right? In the IT industry, anyone who is trying to switch streams, okay, they will definitely not have knowledge on the stream that they are trying to switch. Okay, someone want to get into a development role, previously working as a QA engineer, definitely they'll not have knowledge of development. So what usually happens in the industry, it's quite common that from the projects that you're doing, from the channels that you're learning, right, from the experience that you're gaining, you would generally say that I have understanding of these things. uh, in the past company, I try to do networking along with DevOps, where you can consider me as 1 to 2 years experience of DevOps engineer, and with that you can try to switch,
Okay.
right? Thanks
Thank
Mohsin.
you.
Yeah, Sanjay, try now.
Yeah. Now at least can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Firstly, thanks Abhishek and Piyush. Actually, I think for the contribution that you are doing to the, I think, I mean, it's something. I mean, a thankless job, I would say, right? So I think there will be numerous people that will be saying this, but I think it truly means a lot for all of us what we are doing.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you so much.
So, firstly, I would say, I mean, mine is a maybe I just joined. Maybe someone might have asked this question. So I mean, I have around 8 years experience. I worked as a Java developer and then moved to Germany. I mean, here I am just working as a kind of an operations lead. When you're close to the client, you will be mostly kind of interacting more, not hands-on, but people management and other things, right? So
Hmm.
now, let's say if we want to really switch to DevOps, right?
Hmm.
Let's say I was also seeing in the chat someone asking, having a mainframe experience of 8 years and then now switching into DevOps thing. So let's say I would ask you like first in the India market and also in the abroad in Europe market. So maybe if you can throw some light. So is it a really a good choice to switch to DevOps if you really have
Right.
interest and passion for the cloud or DevOps thing? If yes, how is the, approach? I mean, is it just, something, how can we really get on the hands-on thing so that we can crack the interviews? Yeah.
Okay, luckily you have one person in Canada, one person in UK. I think Guru, you are in UK, right? If I'm right. Yeah.
The sun is
So
setting here and I think rising in Canada, maybe at Piyush. Yeah.
yeah, okay. We'll first take Piyush's answer, then we will take Guru's answer. Is it good to switch to DevOps at this point of time in Canada and UK? Can you people answer?
I don't see any challenges, any issues. It just the only thing that I would suggest is in whichever stream you are moving, try to see if you can somehow use your existing skill and experience to that. Like, is there any problem with mainframe or the technologies that you are working with? Is there any problem that you can solve with DevOps? And then with that, if you have done that, then you can show that as your experience, as your work experience, while you are planning to make that switch into DevOps. And regarding like the issue, I don't see there is any challenges to move to any field at any point of time. There'll be always demand, there'll be always people looking for DevOps engineers, cloud engineers, and so on, because now we are moving into AI era where everything is running on cloud. We have GPUs, we have ML models running on cloud. If there
Yes.
are if those are running, that means there is a need to manage those, maintain those, operationalize those. Then we have the requirement of cloud engineer. We need to create end-to-end CI/CD pipelines, so we need to have the requirement of DevOps engineer, and so on. So they are all linked together, and I don't see any challenges if you do that.
Perfect. Guru, what is your take? How is it in the Europe? If you can answer.
Uh, Fortunately, in Europe and US, moving between careers from one to other thing is taken very positively.
Okay.
Yes. So whether you are a window cleaner or a DevOps engineer doesn't really matter. I have seen some very senior people in one of the investment bank I used to work. He switched from a director to a window cleaner. Really. So my suggestion is don't think that, oh, will I get a job or no. One thing is Europe, especially if you are in mainframe or any computer related thing, moving to a different one should be relatively easy. Relatively. The word is relatively. Why I'm saying this is my suggestion is before moving or trying to switch, do one thing, get a bit of experience doing a lot of projects. Don't let's say you're learning now, don't apply for the job because you will fail the interviews. My suggestion is practice for at least 3 to 6 months, get a confidence, and try to get someone who can validate what you have, the knowledge is good or not. Try to connect with Abhishek or Piyush or myself, and tell them, Guru, I have done 6 months of practice. Would you be able to mock interview me? That way you can do it, and then we can give you honest answers. And once you have that confidence that yes, I can do it, my suggestion would be then apply. Just let's say if you just started to learn DevOps, don't apply because you're going to fail the interviews. Yeah, that would be my view. And also, don't use the word switch. Think about from a recruiter manager or person who has shortlisted your CV or want to shortlist. You can say, I was doing the operations bit of DevOps, and I am now want to do the dev bit of DevOps. So you can say, I already bring some value to you, but I want to do more. So that's for your invest in me, I'll give you far more returns than an average. So you should always think from that perspective. Try not to use the word switch. Say, I want to bring both dev. And then once you're in the role, try to slowly transition into something. And in 1 or 2 years' time, I'm sure you'll be able to move onto the pure dev side of DevOps. Remember, people think that doing the ops side of DevOps is bad. No, it's not. It's just a job. So it's just your way of thinking. That would be my point of view.
Okay, I think Sanjay, you got a very elaborated answer.
Yeah, I think that's valuable one. Thanks, Guru and Piyush. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have Shravan.
Hey Abhishek, hey Piyush.
So, Shavan.
Again, as everybody's saying, thanks Abhishek for all your content. Really helps a lot. Like, trust me, it's a lot of content. I don't think, even if you pay for these kind of services, you will not get that kind of knowledge of what I
Yeah,
got from your YouTube videos.
someone
That's
is
for
just
sure.
asking
Thanks.
me to do a paid course in the comment section. Yeah,
And even if you do it, that's fine. But it is
yeah,
still helpful. Yeah, trust
yeah.
me.
Please.
So Abhishek, I mean, here is my question. Okay, so topic wise, when I prepare, right, or it might be a generic thing. Let's say I cover Ansible, I cover Terraform, Kubernetes, Docker, or anything, right? So once I go through all the curriculum and once I'm done, right? So it is very tough to recollect and revisit or memorize things of what Ansible does, or what Kubernetes can do. Just
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm way too off of AWS. I'm aware of services and I'm aware of what it can do. It's about just getting it up to speed and getting up to interview preparation. And let's say even if I go for an interview, right, even though I know an answer, sometimes I get stuck and I don't know how to respond to those. How to keep up, get prepared for interviews when you bundle all these tools together and get prepared and be ready, how to do this.
Yeah, okay. Guru wants to take this. Please, Guru.
You're on mute, Guru.
Sorry, what's your name, sir? I forgot.
Shravan.
Shravan. Okay. Remember those college days, right? When you used to prepare just before your exam. I was never that kind of a guy. Don't do that. Never prepare 3 hours before your interview. Shut it down. My suggestion is sleep well. And what you need to do is become very fresh, take bath and put perfume and have a coffee and everything. I trust you this works. Uh, Trust me, when a company calls me in the last 24 years, I've never failed an interview. And trust me, I have worked for Goldman Sachs, who have 11 rounds of interview. So my suggestion is keep things simple. One suggestion is each time you learn, put it somewhere. For example, there is a tool called GitHub Projects. Yeah, it's a free tool. It's like a Jira board where you have a Kanban board and lots of things. Each time I plan for something, when I finished, I put it in the done, write some notes, keep it. And but this is your normal thing. And then what happens is, let's say tomorrow evening you have an interview. In the morning, open it and go through the board. Everything will come into your brain straight away. Yeah. But if you have a book, you have to go through pages, which is a bit of a pain, man. And please don't kill trees. So use software, right? So use that and all those things prepare. And you need to say, okay, what you can do is have this, what we call the overview, as one more monitor. Just keep it. When someone asks you the question, just look into it and everything will come into the mind and just reply back. Don't cheat. I'm never saying cheat. I'm saying is have an overview of what you have done and then say, I did this and did this. Any number of tools will automatically, if you have practiced it, will come to your brain automatically. That's what I would prefer. And sometimes, if you don't get the answer, don't say, I don't know. Say, sir, give me 10 seconds, let me remember what something. And then say, this is similar to what I have done. This may not be the perfect answer, but it's similar to this one. Do you want me to answer? They will always say yes anyway. And then you say, this is what equivalent I have done. So try to articulate it and relax. Just don't do study half an hour before your interview. That would be my personal opinion. Piyush and Abhishek, please go ahead.
See, one thing that I'll tell you, Shravan, is, for you to remember things long time, best thing is build the practical approach of learning. Okay. So people have different ways of learning. For example, if I am learning shell scripting, one thing is I can read the documentation. Okay. Second thing is, while learning itself, I have my hands dirty. Like, I don't hesitate just creating a virtual machine and trying whatever I am learning. Okay, people usually hesitate because this is what I've seen. When people are learning Kubernetes, they go with the theory part. They understand what is a Kubernetes deployment, service, ingress, but they're little bit shy trying the same things on their own systems. I think 60-70% of people don't do it, honestly. Right? They watch the videos, they think that they have understood the concept. 6 months down the line, they will definitely forget. Watching a video, trying out a video is a lot different. If you try to deploy a service, create an ingress resource, then you will run into some issue. You will try to deep dive. You will understand, okay, this is how it is working. Okay. In the theory part, I understood it 30-40%. Now, because I have done it, I might understand it like, let's say 60-70%. Lot of times systems are complicated. People will think like, why should I write a HCL file? Why should I create a VPC? I understood the Terraform structure. In interview, I'll explain the same Terraform structure. When it comes to the interview, they will not be able to explain. That's the only difference, right? So build a practical approach. Why you think someone won't forget, someone forgets the concepts? I think the only difference is that they have invested a lot of time practicing. Piyush bhai, do you have any take on this?
Yes, I guess I am also on the same page. Yes, practice a lot, do the hands-on by yourself. And on top of that, I would also add, like, don't just keep it to yourself. Try to create something that you can share with others, like a blog, a GitHub repo, or anything that can serve as an artifacts in your interview. Like, you can link that in your resume, and so that interviewer would know, yes, you are not just talking about these things, you have already implemented that, because you had created an end-to-end blog or a GitHub repo which has the screenshots, which has everything that describe that yes, you have done it by yourself. When I created my first video on my channel, the first video when I created with this thought that I have implemented this project. Okay, I did something for a client, and I didn't want to lose that knowledge. I was like if I'm implementing it today, so today is fresh, I'm aware about it. But what if 2 years down the line I have to come back and revisit the concepts? Like, I don't have any artifact that I can look for. So why don't I create a video out of it? And that was seriously, that was the thought that was there in my mind when I started my channel. And then, like, rest, that there is a different story why I kept continuing that. But that was the mind. Now I'm not saying that everyone should start creating videos or should start a YouTube channel. No, that's not my thought. What I'm saying is, uh, create something, some sort of artifact. It could be a blog, it could be a GitHub repo, it could be anything that you can look at it later on as well, that you can show in the interview or attach it to your resume as well, that yes, you have done these projects by yourself or you have implemented the hands on by yourself. And
Piyush, I think I have the best word for what you're saying. Learn in
mhm,
public.
learn in public, yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yes. And also there is one more advantage of implementing it, like Abhishek said. People just watch the videos, and most of them don't really do the hands on by themselves. So there is one disadvantage of doing that, is because when someone else is doing it, he already knows that stuff, so he know what steps to take next, right? What steps to execute next. But if you are learning something, that means you are a blank slate, like you don't know about much everything, or you don't, or maybe you know a little about it. So if you implement it yourself, you will face a lot of issues. And when you will fix those issues by yourself, that's when learning starts. That's when you learn. That's when you will be able to explain that in the interview. Because many a times I have faced interviewer ask the question like, okay, you have mentioned in your resume Jenkins CI/CD. Tell me the biggest challenge that you have faced while implementing Jenkins CI/CD. Now
Hmm.
you wouldn't be able to answer your question if you have just watched the videos or just read the document. You can only answer the challenges that you have faced if you have faced it, and
Hmm.
you have faced the challenges only when you have tried to implement by yourself. So those are the points that I would like to add.
Sure, guys. That's a lot. That's a lot of info, but thanks for your feedback. And I'll try
Thank
to
you.
do that going forward. Abhishek, one last request from you. When you get
Mhm.
chance from your videos, can you just create a playlist for all the projects that you have done so far? Just the project work,
There is a playlist. Just
Yeah,
go to the channel, look for real time projects playlist. You have that 45, 50 projects that I've done.
sure, sure. I
Thank
couldn't
you.
find the playlist, so I was just I went into your channel and I was searching for keyword
Go to
project.
the playlist section. Go to the playlist
Okay,
section.
sure. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Okay, Nitin is waiting from a lot of
Hi,
time. Nitin, please ask your question. Yeah.
hi, hi, Anna. Hi, hi, Piyush sir. Hi,
Hello.
Guru sir. Sir, sir, actually, Anna, I joined the call just to tell my career transition. I got as a DevOps engineer from one of the big four
Oh,
as a
nice.
DevOps engineer. Yeah, I
Wow.
will be part of your Monday motivation.
Oh,
Like,
thank you so much. You will be part of our Monday motivation next week. Awesome.
yeah, like
Big
I
Four,
thought
Big
to,
Four
yes,
is
sir,
basically
Deloitte.
Deloitte, PwC.
Yeah,
Who is
ENY,
another one?
EY.
ENY and Accenture.
Yeah,
Fourth one is Accenture. Yeah.
yes,
Okay,
fourth one Ascension.
Yeah.
And it is a Deloitte actually.
Mhm.
awesome. Very good.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Congratulations, Nitin.
thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So, how was your
Like,
experience?
so first round is like a pen paper test. In it is an entire process is took place in Deloitte premises in Bangalore office.
Okay.
The first round is pen paper test. It is a there is a negative score. Upon that, after we pass that score, pass this test, they will move to technical round one. It is a panel of two people, two interviewers took. Once we clear the technical round one, they will move to after 1 or 2 hours they will announce the results and move to technical round two. After
Okay.
that, Deloitte fitment interview. That is pure. It is took by one of the DevOps architect. Uh, Around it is like HR plus basic technological and our attitude and mindset like that. Yeah, after that, will in the same day they will announce the results. It is they hired as a trainee engineer. After the 4 months, they get the role. We get the role as DevOps engineer one there.
Hmm.
And the interview process, like in the technical round one, they asked about Linux like fundamentals and storage networking, Linux networking, like that, and asked to write the Docker file for the project I mentioned in my resume. Is a
Mhm.
Node.js application and Django application. As I watched your Django playlist, I easily wrote your Docker file for the same project, and also they are asked to write the Ansible playbook to install like basic thing like installing the package at n target servers, only at web servers. Yeah, like that. In the that is about the first technical and some Python scripting, like finding the directories and like that. Like as we have in our channel, that is Python for DevOps engineers.
Okay, cool.
In that one, you covered that everything. And in the second round, one thing happened. Like they asked in depth about Kubernetes. I
Okay.
explained everything. Like they asked one question. Even though you are not you don't have any experience, prior experience. I am a 2024 graduate.
Oh, okay. Fresher.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Uh, Even though you don't have prior experience, how did you get this up hands on? How did you obtain this hands? I just told I following Abhishek.Veeramalla YouTube channel. Just the interviewer just looked and smiled at me. That is the effect there in the interview process. At last,
Okay.
even once I told your name, they like for Kubernetes and everything, the way I am explaining what the way you explain the things to us, very simple and simple English. And in the same way, I also explained to them. It gave a good impression to them also. The way I explained, I learned from you. That is the way of explaining the concept, difficult concepts in a simple English and simple manner. Yeah, like by telling your name, they smile, looked and smiled at me.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
Sir, yeah.
Nitin.
Also, sir, I have a technical question. Can I ask you?
Like we will see if it can fit in the time frame. Otherwise, I
Yeah.
will answer you on the email or the LinkedIn. Please ask your
Sir, in
question.
LinkedIn, I will Canadian.
Okay.
Sir, actually in Ansible, can I
Can we
ask
take
you?
that on LinkedIn?
Yeah, in LinkedIn I can DM you. No issue.
Perfect. Perfect,
Yeah.
Nitin. I'll watch for your
Okay.
message on LinkedIn. Okay. Thank you
Okay,
so
sir.
much.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing your
Thank you, sir.
journey.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Bye.
Hi, Abhishek, and thanks for your time and thanks for your videos and all. So, actually, the question I was about to ask was almost like this guy, Nitin, was an inspiration for me. Even I am a fresher and I've been
Uh,
struggling to look for a job. And this is really awesome that this guy, as a fresher, got into a good
Deloitte.
company.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the context, I started learning. I did 3 AWS certification last year. I just saw it's a trending thing. I just went for it. I finished one. I got interested, and I finished 3 of the associate level ones.
Hmm.
And then I really got interested into cloud engineering. And I'm also a fitness trainer at gyms and online as well. I've been doing that
Oh,
for an year. So everything I do on cloud, I imagine in a basis of what will I do when I have a whole business or I maintain, manage my software and everything.
hmm.
So like that, I got interested into it and I came across your content. It was amazing. It has inspired me a lot. So I've been constantly working on almost everything, and everything I do, I was looking in a point of view where what can I do for my business and all. But the job thing is really, really tough for me, right? Since almost 7, 8 months. Like I started with like 70 connections in LinkedIn 2 months ago, and now it's more than 600. And I've been
Hmm.
constantly talking to everyone, and everyone is like, okay, they're looking at my resume, they're looking at my content, and they're okay. And by the end of it, they ask for experience, and I'm a fresher. So I'm getting stuck at that point every time since few months.
Piyush bhai, what is your take on this?
Um, I guess this is what we covered earlier as well, in the today's live stream as well. What I would suggest is, yes, you will get a lot of rejection, you will get a lot of failures, but maybe 90-95% of time you will get the failure. You will not get the response from the recruiter or the hiring manager. But you don't have to focus on those 95% of the rejections. You have to focus on just one acceptance. That's what I told earlier as well, right? So you have to keep trying, you have to keep doing that. Yes, it's not easy. if it was easy enough, then everyone would have done it already, right? There were no competition at all. But yes, we have to accept this fact, there is a competition, especially when you are fresher. There'll be many people uh, who are as skilled as you are, or maybe more than you are. So you have to uh, keep your patience, you have to do hard work, you have to keep doing that dedicatedly over a period of time, right? And then you'll start seeing results. So don't be get demotivated if you doesn't get the interview calls, or if you doesn't get if you don't really clear the interview. Just try to improve yourself after every interview, or just try to ask for guidance from others, try to see what else you can improve in your resume or your skill set. Like Guru said, you can go for mock interview once you have prepared a good skill for yourself, and see what improvements you can do in yourself, because that is the only thing that you can focus on. You cannot control how many companies are hiring, or if there is any hiring freeze, you cannot control that. So what you can control is how you are upskilling yourself, how you are keeping yourself relevant in the market. So just keep doing that, um, and try to do something that not many people are doing. you know Not
Yeah.
everyone, like we suggest, building in public, learning in public. Try to do that, try to create a good GitHub repository. You have already done certifications. Now, getting the relevant skills is one thing, but the second part, which is the most important part, is you have to showcase your skills as well. uh, you have reached out to, let's say, 500 people. Five out of those 500, maybe 300 were recruiters or 200 were recruiters, but that's not a big enough number, right? So you have to reach recruiters or hiring manager at a large scale. And how it will happen? When you create something like let's say you created a blog that has gone viral, people are sharing with each other, people are referencing it for their learning purpose, for their upskilling purpose, or a GitHub repository that has a lot of stars that people are sharing with each other. So with those resources, you are reaching many people at the same time without even uh, connecting with them, without even pinging them. And many a times it happens, like recruiters or the managers will reach out to you by looking at all those things that you have done, right? So these
Yes.
are the things that I would suggest doing at this point of time.
Yeah. So
Also,
the thing, yeah,
no, I was
I
just saying. Also, like as a fresher, try to join communities, because I have seen for freshers, if you're part of some communities, you have lot of opportunities. Personally, I have done a podcast recently with freshers. I don't know if you saw that. uh, I
no, no.
invited six freshers onto the channel, and I did a podcast with them. All six of them got placed as freshers 2024. So, definitely try to watch that video. They have shared a lot of tips in that.
Yeah.
And
So the thing,
sorry, I just sorry to interrupt you. I just had to share one
yeah,
thing. There'll be people telling you that DevOps is not for freshers. DevOps
Hmm.
is too difficult
yeah,
to get
I'm
in.
getting that a lot.
Yeah, so just ignore those things, and basically just look at those who have already done that.
Hmm.
Nitin was there just before you, and then there was another guy who joined as a fresher. I guess 2 3 audience back, and then
Yeah.
there were those six guys that Abhishek is mentioning in his podcast. So just see them as an examples. Yes, maybe people who are saying that DevOps is not for fresher are the one who have already given up. So you shouldn't be following someone who has already given up. You will be following someone who has achieved something, or at least working towards it. Getting into something or achieving something is not as important as keep trying for it, or who is aiming for that, who is going in that direction consistently and dedicatedly.
So what Piyush has told brings up another question, that so I am constantly learning my skills. So to advertise myself in my resume or showcase myself, is it more important that I just I just go to YouTube, finish my projects. Let's say I'm learning Jenkins, I just finish a simple project and showcase that in a resume, or should I just make my own problem statement and create a new thing instead of just copy? I mean, just learning from that. Which one is more better for
I would
me to
say do
showcase?
a mix of both, because you are still learning. So learn like learn from the video, try to implement that, and see what else you can do in that, what improvement you can do in that project, or how you can scale that project to a bigger level. Because if
Okay.
you are adding a simple project in your resume, that won't add a lot of value. You
Hmm.
don't have to add, let's say, 5 projects. You have to add maybe 1 or 2 projects, but it has to be complex enough, it has to cover a lot of good scenarios, right? So only focus on those projects, and yes, implement everything, but just be selective of what you are putting in your resume. And when I say projects, I don't mean a good front end or a good back end. That's not for DevOps engineers. We maintain that software, we maintain those applications, we implement CI/CD monitoring, alerting, but we don't actually build the applications. That is the job for a developer, right? So there is a separate there is a thin line between a developer role and a DevOps role. So if you showcase your skill as a front end engineer, or as a full stack engineer, then you should apply for those type of roles, not for the DevOps role. You're getting my point?
Yeah,
So
yeah. This
so
actually helps a lot for me
yeah, so the
because
project could be,
yeah,
the project that you are implementing, it could be a simple web application with a front end, back end, and database. But make sure you are using all the latest tools and technologies. Let's say you have built the project on a microservice architecture or event driven architecture, and you have implemented GitOps using Argo CD. You hosted it on GitOps, Kubernetes, or as a serverless function. So try to use those things. Try to implement as many as scenario as possible, and don't focus too much on the presentation of application, or how, like, don't think too much from a developer point of view. Think of it as a DevOps engineer point of view, or a cloud engineer point of view. Now, how you can scale it to, let's say, 1,000 users or 1 million users. How will you improve the performance of the application? How will you ensure that your application is up and healthy all the time? All those type of things, right?
I'll add
Okay.
something to that as well. Only one.
Yeah.
I have seen blogs which been written where you say, okay, how to implement this, and you give all the commands which you executed, right? That's a very bad idea. People are not here to look at the commands you executed. No. Yeah, look at most of the very well written blogs or knowledge sharing. They provide a solution. Why don't you put all those commands in a shell and say parameterize it? That would be a better option, right? Don't write blogs saying I learned Git. That's not the point. The point being show something which other people can consume. Because then they will say, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. I'll go and look into more, and then you become more hireable. Yeah, that would be a better way of see. If you go to a restaurant and they give you rice uh, and boiling water, would you go to the restaurant again? No, you want to cook the rice, right? So that's what it is. So don't give the rice and the water. Say, if you do this, here's biryani or vegetable biryani or non-vegetarian, depends. Give them solutions. Look at my blogs, look at other people's blogs. They give solutions and then
Hmm.
attach it to a GitHub repository. That way you will be able to sell yourself more. Yeah.
That's a good advice. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. I think you got a lot of answers, Vishnu.
yeah, yeah.
So
It was really valuable for and just because you said don't focus on 95% of the time.
hmm.
I know that I have to think about that's the correct way to think, but just your words coming out actually is very helpful for me, and thanks a lot for
Yeah,
it.
no, I mean, just
Yeah.
ignore the fact that you have not cleared those 95 rounds, but
Hmm.
Yeah.
take the learnings out of those 95 failures. What you can learn from that, what you can improve on yourself, keeping that in mind. So just think of those 95 times as that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Vishnu, for joining us.
Thank you,
And
Vishnu.
before we move to Kaustav, so there is one question. Lot of fresh engineers have this question. People in their college, that what is the best laptop to buy? So because you people have been in industry for quite a good time. What is your recommendation for a college student, within the budget? Let's say someone who wants to buy a good laptop within the range of, question in the comments is 80-90,000, but I think still it's too high. Let's say 50 to 70,000 if someone wants to get a good laptop and want to practice DevOps. Do you have any recommendations? It's okay if you don't have.
I'll go with one. One of my mentees did that. He got a Lenovo i5 with 5 TB, 16 GB RAM. Of course, there is one from Dell as well. They're round about the same price here and there. My suggestion is buy one with more RAM rather than high-end CPU, because when you're doing local development, you don't need such bandwidth. Yeah, buy with more disk if possible, but 512 GB is more than enough. My suggestion also is don't create VMs on those machines, like using VirtualBox or something. Don't. Very simple workflow should be develop on the laptop, push it to GitHub, use one of the tools, for example, AWS free tier or GCP free tier. Literally pull the code and run there. Especially if you are working with GCP, you can literally use Cloud Run, and you get almost everything for free. Almost, I would say. And the good thing is with Cloud Shell and all, you can have a preview which you can share with others. So my suggestion is don't overcomplicate things. 16 GB RAM, Lenovo or Dell is good. And if you are constrained, go to dell.co.uk, sorry, dell.co.in, depends, /outlet. Yeah. Outlet is where they give you refurbished, but they're certified. They are good, but it's just they may have one or two dents. My suggestion is don't overthink. And if you are a very rich person like Abhishek or
Guru.
Mr.
Or
Piyush,
Guru.
Mr. Piyush, my suggestion is go for an M3 Mac, M3 Pro with at least 64 GB RAM. But if you are constrained and if you can get a Mac, don't buy something like not a studio. A Mac Mini also is a good option. But then to control that, you need a good client.
Yeah, I suggested Mini multiple times because
Yeah.
That was the first thing even I used to have, and it's very very affordable. Like I think
Yeah.
if you are in US or Canada or even anywhere outside India, you can buy that for like 40-50,000, and all that you need is a monitor, but it's a pure monitor thing. If you are if you usually carry that to places, then Mini don't work.
Exactly. My suggestion is if you are based in your home and everything, buy a Mini, attach it to your computer, and use something like this one. A small keyboard is very much friendly, and then you can work. Don't always think laptop. If you are going to spend 90% of your time at home, get a desktop. It's cheaper and they're more powerful. But if you are going to travel and go for interviews, then it's a thing. So yeah, and Intel or AMD doesn't really matter. If you use Ryzen 7 or plus, then AMDs are fine. The thing is, my suggestion uh, is good, but just be careful on what they give. For example, if they give 512 GB disk, fine. If it has an NVMe thing, it's faster disk, but of course it's going to cost you more. It all depends on how much money you have. And my suggestion is, I think Dell gives you even a free payment plan where you can spend it monthly. I think so. Definitely, you can do that in UK for sure. But my suggestion is don't buy cheap, like 20,000 or 30,000 or something. Don't, because in a year it will be gone. Yeah, my suggestion is uh, go for a little bit more. Take the bullet and go for a bit more specifications, but minimum should be an i5 or an i3. Remember, there are 12th generation or 11th generation i3 as well. So make sure that you have at least the 12th generation or 13th generation Intel chips or Ryzen 7. Yeah, make sure that there are lots of i3s which are those one. Yeah.
What
Okay.
I would also
Anish.
suggest is,
Yeah.
yeah, so just a small add up to that. What I would also suggest, do anything like either go with Mac or go with Ubuntu machine, on virtual machine, on virtual box, VM player, or on cloud, doesn't matter. Just don't work with Windows. That's the only suggestion that I would have, especially when you are working with DevOps, because most of the tools, like let's say Docker Desktop, it does not works very well with the older versions of Windows 10, 11. Even if you want to install Minikube or Kind cluster, it does not support much. So even if you have Windows, try to somehow use a virtualized version of a Linux machine or a cloud version of virtual machine.
Very
But
nice suggestion.
has to be either Linux based or a Mac based. Don't go with the Windows based machines. That's
Yeah,
what I
and
would
install, if you're using Windows, it's very simple.
WSL.
Install WSL and it will give
That's
you
it.
an Ubuntu. So
say.
it's a very simple thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Like if you have Windows, you don't have to worry about it. Just install WSL. And okay, we will conclude this live in next 20 minutes because we all have to also leave. So last 20 minutes, let's take quick see one questions from everyone. Kaustubh is waiting from a long time. Kaustubh, please.
Hello Abhishek sir, hello Piyush sir, and hello Guru sir. First of all, Abhishek sir, I'm trying to reach you from previous 1 month. I have sent request to on like the various platforms, including uh, Gmail, various platforms. Leave it.
We are
So
meeting
my
finally.
question is,
Yeah.
finally, I was just randomly scrolling Telegram before sleeping, so I just got the update there. I am also fresher. I am like 2024 grad now. So
Hmm.
I recently 1 month ago we had a subject called high performance computing in our college curriculum. From there I developed interest in cloud. Like they
Hmm.
had mentioned Kubernetes and all. So basically in college I have done development and uh, competitive programming.
Hmm.
Uh, so now I want to shift to cloud, and I watched your video on like the roadmap video in that you mentioned like from HDLC to Python. You covered various points. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So as a fresher, should I follow that playlist blindly, or there are various playlist in your channel also, like separate playlists? So should I go for it,
Hmm.
or should I follow the 57 videos playlist?
Okay, see, first of all, we have something called DevOps Zero to Hero, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
the fundamental idea of that playlist is to help everyone get fundamental knowledge, right? So that playlist you can consider as something that covers breadth of basics of DevOps, like understanding what is Kubernetes, understanding what is Docker, in a systematic approach. Like rather than starting with Docker and Kubernetes first, we started with what is DevOps, what is SDLC, how it fits into SDLC, Linux, Shell. So definitely start with that. Whether you are a fresher or whether you are someone entering into IT in DevOps, so that is how you have to start. Then you can look at the other playlists, like then go to AWS, go to Terraform, Python in that approach.
Oh, then first should means I have to complete the whole playlist, and then I
Yes.
can go for separate ones. And
Yes.
sir, as a fresher, the previous guy mentioned, as he said, so 10 out of means 9 out of 10 people suggested me that DevOps is not for freshers. So
Hmm.
but I have been connecting for the people from your videos from the 10-15 days, like you mentioned that you conduct interview of that freshers. So I literally means sent request to everyone, and I'm trying to get means what they are doing, what they have
See,
learned.
one thing I'll tell you is uh, definitely there will be people who will tell you that even if you look at that video, although I posted LinkedIn of each and everyone, some people
Hmm.
commented that they are not freshers. Now you cannot answer, right?
Yes. Hmm.
So they are college pass outs. I have posted their LinkedIn also. So like it happens. Like after a while, when someone gives up, So they will have that disappointment. They might just come to YouTube and they might just say that, okay, DevOps is not for freshers. But there are a lot of success stories, right? Even in this live stream,
Yeah.
there are two people who cracked DevOps job roles as freshers. Recently I did a
Yeah.
podcast with 6 freshers who are all freshers. So why are they able to do that? Just try to get in touch with them, see how they are doing things differently. What is that one thing that you're missing? And it's not about DevOps or development or anything. As a fresher, it's about your passion. That is what I feel, right?
Mhm.
See, don't choose DevOps just because you are not in development. You are not
Mhm.
interested in development. I mean, okay, it's a
Yeah.
it's a very wrong approach. Uh, Eventually, you will hate it. You will not find a growth in your career because you're not passionate about it. Streams are meant to be chosen according to your interest. If you like development, there might be hell lot of competition. Go to development. Okay. If you are passionate about DevOps, if you are passionate about cloud, if you are passionate about things that are happening in this space, only then come to DevOps. Again, if you are interested, there might be a lot of competition. You will be odd man out and you can easily get selected. Right?
Okay, I'll give you a different
Okay.
perspective. What's your name, sir?
Kaustubh.
Kostu, tell me, you mentioned that you have an interest in HPC and cloud. Can I ask you why?
Sir, when they like these guys, I will give basic example of Hotstar. What thing captured my attention is Hotstar.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like
Thank you. Yeah.
at a time,
I'm sorry, I have to be very careful about other people. So, okay, I'll just take the hint
Yeah,
from
yeah,
there. Yeah.
yeah.
Hotstar, where they scale automatically, do a lot of things, and they do it very quickly. Yeah. Now,
Mhm.
remember, there are two things. One is competition, obviously, which he's mentioned, but don't do anything which doesn't make you happy.
Mhm.
Passion is there. Like, why did Abhishek does all the videos? He doesn't do it for money. No, we don't. We are already in well-paid jobs. Yeah. So my suggestion is do which makes you happy. Yeah. And think long term. Don't think I want a job now. No. I want to start with something. Yeah. Everyone starts with a cycle, but ultimately they want a BMW, right? That's what it
Yeah.
works. But some people like me, I don't drive a car because I don't like cars. Yeah, I sit at home and
Mhm.
have the best computers. So my suggestion is don't overthink. Do things. Don't overthink. Do something, learn something, and you move on. And maybe in 2 3 years' time, you don't know, you may become the best developer as well. So look at opportunities. Don't constrain yourself to only DevOps or site reliability. Look at Piyush. He has done everything. I'm so lucky that when I sometimes once I raised the ticket with the company I work, Mr. Piyush to get the ticket. What is the chance of that? Because I work with
Mhm.
my partner and we work. We enjoy our work. That's the point. Don't think I want to do a job. No, I want to have fun. Have some fun,
Yes.
guys.
Yes.
Yeah, the fun part is missing. Don't say I want to do a job. I want to have some fun. This is my passion. Do you think Mr. Federer does it for money? No. The Swiss government will pay for his whole life, even after winning one. But they don't just do it and play and have some fun. That's what they do. Yeah. So
Yeah.
think it like that and don't restrict yourself to one thing. Yeah. Do a lot of things and you will get something which will help you have some fun. So don't forget the fun part. Yeah.
Okay, so and you mentioned while talking to Shravan, share your knowledge, Abhishek sir, like share it publicly. And while I was exploring LinkedIn, I found some people are like what Abhishek sir is teaching. They are copy pasting it, means from video. They are copy pasting it, and they are just putting on LinkedIn. So, but the thing you said is totally different. So, in what terms we execute it?
No, the thing
Like
is,
if
you see, if you cheat with yourself, you're cheating yourself. You're not cheating others. People are not idiots, okay? People hiring
Mhm.
people are they took a lot of decision making, right? my suggestion, if you think you literally copy and paste and you get the best jobs, even if you get the best jobs, within 2-3 years you'll be caught out. Trust
Yeah.
me. Yes.
Mhm.
So IT, right? Unless you prove yourself, you are thrown out very quickly. So my
Good.
suggestion is, sorry about the words, but unfortunately, common sense has become very less common nowadays. So sorry about the language, but that's what it is. So use your common sense and think, what am I doing is correct or cheating or trying to find a
Yeah.
shortcut. There is no fight. No, there is no shortcut in IT. You have to bloody practice a lot. Piyush has not done any shortcuts, or Abhishek has not done any shortcuts. Neither did I. Still develop. I've been coding for 25 years now, and I still think I know less than 10% of IT. I've done Java coding, Spring, infrastructure engineer. I worked for investment banks for 13 years. I still think that I need to learn more. Yeah, so that's what it is. Yeah,
Perfect.
so please
We have,
understand you have to do a lot of things. Sorry, I need to cut down because I have to
yeah,
be
yeah,
very
we
careful.
have we have
Yes,
last
yes,
10
yes, yes.
minutes. So
Thank
what
you,
we
sir.
will do is, yeah, thanks Kaustav. We have last 10 minutes. So we will try to take at least 5 people onto the call, right? So let's try to listen to their question and restrict them to one question and answer. Any one of us will answer them. Satyam, please ask your question.
Um, Hello everyone. I'm audible.
Yes, yes, Satyam. Yes, good.
Hello. Thanks actually for allowing this, and also good to see Piyush sir and Abhishek sir and this sir as well.
Guru
An
sir.
apology, yes, Guru sir, and my apology earlier since I used some harsh words because I was literally frustrated in the last. I
That's
think
okay. Please, yeah,
that
please
live.
go with your
Yeah.
question.
So
But
my question for currently is from past 2 years I have been preparing for this jobs. Like earlier I was not having any clue and all, but my not my requirement, but the company where I was working as system admin, and I wouldn't call it as system admin, but I think Office 365 admin. But later on, they suggested me to go for DevOps, and because they have requirement for Azure, and they asked me like they had given me some list to prepare. Among that, it was Azure Cloud, and then Azure DevOps, and yes, that's it. It was so. What I did was like I have prepared Azure Cloud basic, like what I have gone through all Azure, this zero to hero yours,
hmm,
and also this from Udemy. I have prepared Azure 104,
hmm,
and then some like the Docker tools I have learned, then and this Kubernetes from Code Cloud,
yeah,
and then
please.
shell scripting. Some I have learned from from your playlist and other places. So
Hmm,
and I'm doing multiple projects like for the resume. One I have copied from this Pure Sir's this YouTube clone, which is just for just the basic one, and the voting application. For voting application, I have done Docker, like for just the Docker using images. And then second one, the Docker Compose, and then I have moved to this Kubernetes using Minikube. I have applied. So
yeah.
are these
Can we?
things are enough? Yeah,
Yeah,
are these
Satyam,
things are enough?
let's come to the question. Yeah.
Yes, so are these things are enough? And in when it comes to self scripting, how deep they would be asking the question for the fresher, like a kind of fresher. So how deep they would be asking, and also the Kubernetes part, how deep the questions could be for the freshers. Like will it include role bindings, config maps, and secrets, and with relevant to Azure AKS because they have that requirement. So I have questions regarding that.
Like, are you a
And
fresher?
these projects are enough. Not Fraser. I have worked earlier 3 years in Wipro as uh, global security admin, then 2 years as here as Office 365. But in IT, kind of it is Fraser. However, I was aware about C++ and other things earlier with relevance to coding.
In Wipro, you are a non-IT guy.
Yes, I was an non-IT guy. In global security group, there is one team, like one part of that it is.
Okay. So, anyways, like, it's your choice if you want to get into IT as an experienced or not. Like, ideally, I would recommend that you should get as an experienced engineer, because you will not be counted as fresher. You have worked in non-IT, or that is an experience, right?
Mhm.
5 years that you have spent, it should not
Yes.
go waste. Because other than IT, you have a lot of things that you have learned. You have learned how to work in
Mm-hmm.
team. You have learned, uh, you know, how the corporate culture is. You have learned
Yes,
meeting etiquette,
exactly.
all that things, right? So now the thing is, uh, how much knowledge you require, how much in depth you need to learn things. I will simply
Mm-hmm.
tell you that if you are a fresher, you need to have strong fundamentals. Okay, you need to understand whatever the concepts that you have asked. Like, do you need to understand role binding rules? The basic RBAC you should definitely understand, right? If you are using Kubernetes without RBAC, how will you even understand? How Kubernetes works in your organization?
Because
Who is
yes, because as far as I know, my role will be as an admin, I guess. Because multiple developers, it is a kind of startup company. So for the startups, like developers will be there, and maybe
then
I'll
you
have to
can
do some pipeline
See, then
things.
you can simply get on a call with the manager and ask them, like, I'm joining your startup on XYZ time frame. So I would like
Mhm.
to understand what are the things that I have to learn, what are the things that I have to sign up for, and prepare accordingly for the position
Oh,
that they have.
he has given me some list like Azure DevOps he need, and Kubernetes, then Azure CI/CD setup he need. And these things should be optimized. Like everything should be optimized, like that he has mentioned in the list. So, am I on the right track for this one? I have been
Yeah,
preparing
yeah,
the projects.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is
You're on the
using
right track. You're on the right track.
using Azure Key Vault. Even your one project was there for voting
Yep.
this thing in which you have used Azure Key Vault and other things. So, do I need to put this role bindings and other things as well from the concept
Yeah, yeah.
if I'm
You
using?
can, definitely. Definitely
Okay,
try to put them because they are also important. That also comes under the security thing. It aligns with what you're trying to do. So yeah,
okay, yeah. That's all I had the
thank
confusion.
you,
Thanks for clearing.
thank you,
Yeah.
Satyam. Okay, so next we have is Nikhil. Piyush Bhai will take this question if Piyush is comfortable. Uh,
Yeah, sure, sure.
Nikhil, please.
Go ahead, please, Nikhil.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. First,
Ye-
off, thank you for all your support. So I am working in service-based company, but I want to switch in product-based company.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Hmm.
I got an opportunity from big product-based company, and
Okay.
yesterday was assessment, but I was surprised because they asked the essay question. I mean,
Okay.
they asked a medium level question.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I cleared the assessment,
Mm-hmm.
but now my interview will schedule on Monday, and I ask interviewer, "Will you ask the essay question?" They reply, "One question will be theirs."
Okay.
So I am worried about that. I mean, at what level they will ask? Like they will ask array, or array sorting, string, or they will go tree graphs and
See,
DT.
see. Now that your interview has been scheduled for Monday,
Yeah.
and you don't know what they're gonna ask. Neither do any one of us know what they're gonna ask. Right. So instead of worrying about it, what you can do it, you can brush up some basic fundamentals DSA concepts and focus the rest of the time on the things that you know well, the thing that you think that you have expertise with, or the skills and technologies that you have good command on. Focus mostly on those. So even if you don't do well in one DSA question or anything else, you still have the rest of the questions to cover. You still have to answer those, and if you answer those perfectly, then this could be an exception. Like, I have seen interviews, I have taken interviews, I have given interviews where even if I don't do well in one of the rounds, or let's say a couple of questions, it won't matter much if I have performed exceptionally well in the rest of the questions or rest of the rounds, right? So instead of worrying about it, focus the time that you have in learning some of the basic concept. Yes, you should know some basic DSA. Maybe yes, go with the trees, graphs, and like fundamental DSAs, whatever it is, arrays, and so on. And rest of the time focus on rest of the skill sets, rest of the prepare for the rest of the interview rounds, or like whatever it is.
So I know array sorting and searching and string, but I don't know tree graphs and all these
So
concepts.
maybe just read, like just don't go blank over there. Just read a little about it.
Hmm.
You still have time. It's not like you have interview tomorrow morning. You still have few days. So
Yes.
just try to get the basic understanding of it, so that even if they ask something, you won't go blank over there. Just answer something like, okay, I haven't really brushed up my skills for a long time, but this is what I know and this is what I have learned, like whatever,
Perfect.
right?
Ping me
And
separately. I will help you out.
yeah, okay,
Ping me on LinkedIn. I
there
will
you
help
go.
you out with some of them. Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Because
sure.
I think this is not the right approach to ask questions here. Because I think you need separate kind of session. Uh, find me on LinkedIn. Okay, let me give you my LinkedIn profile. Ping me on there, and I'll help you out. Ping me on Friday night or tomorrow. Doesn't matter. Yeah. This is my LinkedIn. It's in the chat. Sorry, I can't paste it because uh, comment has failed. Abhishek, if you
Just just
can,
just search for Guru on LinkedIn. I think
yeah,
you'll
Guru
easily
Murthy
find it.
will help you out. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
or Agile Guru will say. I think if you search Google for Agile Guru, I think it's a second link, agileguru.org. Yeah.
Amazing. He already cracked the SEO, so you can find with Agile Guru.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Sorry for breaking,
Hi,
but yeah, Nikhil.
Last one.
Last one, Nikhil. Please.
Hi, Abhishek. I'm audible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah, actually, I have 2.5 year experience. 1 year I did as an backend developer, Java backend developer. Now,
Hmm,
present 1.5 year, I'm doing AWS cloud
hmm,
fully. But actually, this is a startup company. In
hmm,
this current company, we are using only we will build Maven build and package build, and we'll just deploy, connect to SSH, and we'll deploy. Only
hmm,
for past 1 year, I am doing say this process only. I watched your playlist, all those things. But
hmm,
when I try to attend the interviews, on the time I am facing very difficulties because they will
hmm.
ask the real time examples, what the situation you find, but I don't know how to explain because I didn't face any issues.
Got it. I will let Guru answer this question, but before that, I have one question for you. Okay.
Yes.
So you have watched the videos. Okay.
Yeah,
How
sure.
much
Yeah.
how much did you practice those videos? For example, let me ask you, did you implement one CI/CD pipeline end to end? It can be
Yeah,
on Jenkins, GitHub Actions, or anything.
Jenkins I did, Abhishek.
Okay, perfect. Were you able to explain that during the interviews?
But I explain, but yeah, I will explain. But what about it regarding that video only? Because
Hmm,
in they are asking about different tools.
Yeah.
hmm,
Okay. I'll explain it to you. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I'm fairly good at Java. So let's say they ask you, okay, you implemented Java. If they ask you, you can say, sir, you can implement a full CI CD pipeline. A CI CD pipeline starts with one. Number one is source code, and I'm using Maven, right?
Okay.
But let's say tomorrow, if I want to do SAST, which is Sonar Cube,
So no.
you can write a separate step.
Yes.
But then, if your number of steps in your pipeline goes more and more, one thing it's hard to maintain. You
Yes.
need too many tool sets and the
Mm.
thing. But if you use proper Maven, you can use Sonar Scanner plugin to do it as part of the build itself. So don't allow the developers to do anything. Maven Clean install will itself do things. Then you can use the Git plugin and the JQ plugin to create the Docker itself. So in one Maven Clean install, you are doing source code build, unit test, integration test, and packaging and SAST and Docker image. Then when you do deploy, you just upload it to a Docker registry, which can be private or public.
Yes.
Now, if you do this in one go, you will have the concept of doing one CI/CD, CI, not CD, sorry, my mistake, one CI in one go. Now, if you explain this, he will know that you know the steps, but what are the pros and cons? Now, you can say if the company is fully into Java and nothing else, this will work. But let's say if they have Node.js, they can use something similar. And you can say, sir, I have many applications. Some of them use Java 8 and this thing. then I use something called SDK man to do that. So what you have to think is not only think from your project, think what other projects your company is using. You're in a product based company. I'm sure they use a lot of other technologies as well. So you have to think, not only restrict yourself to Maven, think artifacts. How can I deploy? And tell, sir, if you see, I don't use passwords in Jenkins because if it leaks, then I'm in trouble. Because it's Kubernetes, I use something called workload identity. So there is no password because you set up the roles for your infrastructure. It always already has, because it's context bound. So it all depends on how you articulate, right? So don't see, Abhishek has given you the foundation. It's not the solution. Yeah. Don't think that that's the Bible or Quran or whatever you study. Sorry about that. Take this as a thing, implement this thing, and then go out of your comfort zone one step a little bit and become a good person like Abhishek or Piyush. Don't be lazy like me, because I have a library of all the source code, everything I do, and just use one command to do everything. So of course this is with lots of experience. But the thing is, you have to think long term and not be concentrating only on one thing. Yeah. Try to go things and look at how can I make developers life or my operations life people better. Once you get that bigger picture and you implement it, giving this answer will help you, and I'm sure you will do far better. And I'll shut up now. Other people.
No, like, see,
Last question. Last question.
go ahead.
Is certificate is mandatory? Cloud partition, the dollar certification is mandatory while
No.
switching for another companies.
No, it's not mandatory for most of the companies. There are some job descriptions, if you see, in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they specifically mention like AWS certification preferred or Azure certification preferred. But again, it's not mandatory. But sometimes if they mention it in their job description, that means this is what they use as for the initial scanning of the resumes, right? So certification is something that adds a little point or little weightage to your resume, but other than that, it's like not much. The only reason why I do certification, why I follow certification, bit because it provides you an organized learning path. Let's say you want to learn Azure, right? Now, as a beginner to Azure who has never worked on Azure before, you wouldn't know what all things I need to learn in Azure. You wouldn't know what all services should I touch up. So what you do is you follow one certification path, let's say Azure Admin 104, and you follow that as per the curriculum of the certification that's been provided by the cloud provider itself. And he's gone. Okay, so
That's
that's
okay. Yeah.
okay. So yeah, so that's what I was saying. So a certification is not mandatory, is good to have, but most important is the hands-on that you do, the real-time experience that you learn something from, and then you implement it by yourself. So that's more important than the certification itself.
Yeah, and one thing I'll tell you is, like, if you are a fresher, think wisely, because these certifications are not free. They also cost you a lot of money, right? So if your college is forcing you, saying that you need to do certification only, then you get a job, I think that's all false. So unless you are, like, if you really want to do certification, like you said, just follow that course structure, learn the things according to the course structure. And these days, if you are active in the communities, you here or there, you even get the certification vouchers as well.
Yes.
So
Many a times, like GCP, Azure, they provide the free certification voucher
free
programs.
certifications.
So you can do that free of cost. Or if you are working somewhere, your employer might reimburse it. So yeah, that's how it is.
Perfect. Firstly, I would like to thank Piyush and Guru for being very patient. I think time went very quickly. It's almost 2 hours 5 minutes. We started this live
Yeah.
stream. I don't even feel like that. And I think both of you are also working. For me, it's late night, so
Yeah.
after my office hours. But you people are like kind enough to take some time
No,
out of
I
your.
have COVID, so officially I'm off today.
Oh,
Oh,
that.
okay.
I'm off today because I have a very bad throat and I
I
have a
think
bit.
even, like, I'm also not keeping up well. I
Yeah,
not
exactly.
everything
Last
but
10 days
COVID.
have been horrible. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All
Yeah.
right, man. And
Thank you.
Abhishek and Piyush, as usual, it's a pleasure talking to you guys.
Pleasure talking to you and to Abhishek. And thank you, Abhishek, for inviting me.
Hmm.
So it was always a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, exactly. And mentor me as well, Abhishek.
No,
You're
no,
ignoring my requests. Yeah.
no, no,
I can always get mentored by Piyush. I can pester him, but yeah.
no, I'm learning from you both. Thank you so much. Uh, See you guys in the next
Okay.
live
See
stream
you,
sometime.
everyone.
Bye.
Take
See
care.
you,
Bye
everyone.
bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
My